Anthropic announced Claude for PowerPoint recently, where they claim that you can customize a full PowerPoint deck with just a few prompts. And as someone who has worked as a fractional CFO for over 100 fast-growing companies, I had to know, can it create a legitimate CFO summary? So in this video, we're gonna find out. We're going to test it in 3 different ways. First, we'll give Claude an Excel financial model and ask it to generate a presentation from it. Next, we'll try something simpler, just copying and pasting a headcount table into the prompt. And third, we'll give it a snapshot of an existing dashboard to see how well it can turn that into a deck. Let's get started. All right, now just a few notes before we begin. First, I'm using Claude's Max plan because it's very easy to burn through all of your credits, even if you're using the Pro plan. Next, there's a saying, garbage in and garbage out. Aside from your data being accurate, it's very important that your prompts are accurate as well. So I actually had a separate conversation with Claude asking what are the best prompts for what I'm looking to do, and I captured that data into this document over here. Next, using Claude can take a decent amount of time. I didn't want to waste your time in this video, so I'm going to be speeding up some of the loading with the output from Claude, but I was still pretty impressed with the speed. And then lastly, if you want to get access to the PowerPoint that we're building together, as well as an Excel file that I'm showing with a bunch of dashboards and a full 3-statement model, you can check out the first link in the description to grab entirely for free. All right, now let's have some fun with Claude. All right, so here's my 3-statement model. As you can see, I have actuals through December 2025. Then I have a bunch of projections. I have an income statement, a balance sheet, and a statement of cash flows. Now, all this is entirely dynamic, so any changes that I make to my income statement or balance sheet will flow through to my cash flows. So let's see how well Claude could actually play with this. All right, I'm gonna take this information over here for my first prompt. I will paste this over here and let's add the file. All right, now let's see what happens. I'm gonna press enter. All right, so it's looking at my financial model and the website. So it's pretty cool that I could look at 2 sources, an Excel file and my website. And it looks like the prompt is actually too long. All right, that was a bit of a fail. Let me try just removing my website. And let me again add my file and see if this time it'll work. All right, so it's extracting the data from the Excel file. Okay, now it's aggregating the monthly and annual figures. Now that's pretty cool because my Excel file only had monthly figures. And man, this is taking a lot of time. I don't even see any information popping up on a slide yet. All right, now it's saying I have a comprehensive picture. There's no logo, so I'll use professional brand palette. I guess it's using a professional dark navy theme. And it's already been a few minutes and I don't really see any of the slides done yet. Let's see if this is gonna work. Okay, we have movement here. The theme is set. And now it's asking me to give permission. I'm just gonna say dangerously always allow because I like to live dangerously.
I also like to live dangerously.
So let's see how this goes. Okay, this is pretty nice and sleek. 3-year financial overview. That's pretty cool that it knew that there were 3 years. All right, now we got a second tab. What's going on with this second tab? Oh, revenue nearly doubled while losses widened. That's pretty neat. I like that interpretation there. I wonder what all these search icons mean. I'm just gonna hit this drop down and I guess it's looking for icons for money, cash, dollar. Whoa, this is so cool. All right, so I got these beautiful KPI boxes. I have this commentary. Now I'm gonna verify this in just a few minutes whenever it's done, but so far, this is pretty impressive. I'm not gonna lie. All right, now we got slide number 3 that's coming, the revenue trend slide. Okay, we got a slide over here. It looks like my gross margin is held pretty steadily. I like this commentary. Again, a very pretty view. We got a combo chart with the revenue numbers on the left, the gross margin on the right. All right, and then here we go for slide number 4, the full income statement. Oh, this is just beautiful. This makes me look like I'm a public company over here. I love how I was able to extrapolate this. We got the year-over-year growth. We got the 2026 projections. Really cool. All right, now let's see what this next slide is. Ooh, we got now our balance sheet. That makes sense. You got 1 slide for the income statement, 1 for the balance sheet. Interesting how it doesn't have that comparison, though I don't really think that's as useful compared to a income statement. All right, now we got a third one. This is going to be cash flows. Let's see how it does with this. All right, we got another nice chart over here. We can see operating, financing, and ending cash. I guess because we didn't have any investing activities, it just decided to exclude that. I like these highlights that we have over here. Yep, here's our note again about that investing, no CapEx. That's pretty cool. What happens if I would have extended this here? All right, I guess I could see all the code though. I can't really understand this or make any sense out of it, but that's pretty cool. Now we got slide number 7 for 2026. All right, now we got some great commentary over here. All 7 slides are built. Now let me verify the presentations. Okay, it detected some minor overlaps with the title and shapes. Oh, cool, I just saw a bit of a change. All right, now it's visually verifying the key slides. So we got the title slide, now it's doing the executive summary slide. All right. Then it made its way to the income statement slide. Now it detected some issues, but it said they're just minor visual preferences. They're just gonna fix the important one. That's pretty neat. And now we're on the cash flow slide. And now we're on the projection slide. Well, that's interesting. It centered this information over here. And here we go. Now we're done. I have a overview of what exactly was added. And not only do I have an overview of what was added, but even the commentary over here is flagged. Now, here's what's so amazing about this. First, this saved me at least an hour's work if I were to do this all entirely from scratch. But on top of that, most accountants aren't really design professionals, and the ability to put together something this beautiful, I guess you could use the templates that come with PowerPoint, but I think it did a much better job. So I'm pretty impressed. Let's move on now to prompt number 2. But first, a quick word from our sponsor, Bill. I started using Bill when I launched Mighty Digits back in 2018, and I'm still putting it in front of every new client today. What it handles is the full AP workflow. The bill comes in, gets processed and approved, payment goes out, everything reconciles, and I'm not babysitting any of it. Now, when you're running a 35 or 40 client engagement firm at once, that time adds up in a pretty serious way. And look, I've seen a lot of tools cycle through in the last 6.5 years since I started my firm. Better marketing, bigger funding rounds, louder communities, and most of them are either gone or completely different than the way they started. Well, after 6.5 years, Bill is still a company I can't recommend enough to our clients. And it's not only me who thinks that way. 90 of the top 100 US accounting firms use them, with over $1 trillion in payments processed. And their AI was trained on 1.3 billion real financial documents. Right now, they're running a pretty cool promo. Request a demo, and they'll send you $250 just for your time. The link is in the description if you want to check them out. And now, back to the video. All right, so here's our headcount data by department, pasted directly from Excel. Please add slides for headcount over time by department, revenue per employee, OpEx per head, update the executive summary and any relevant slides, and then I'm gonna paste the headcount data as well. So there's that. And now here's my actual headcount data. So I'm just gonna come here and copy this information, and then I'm gonna paste it over here. And before I do anything, let me just save this. Okay, let's see how well it does. So it's analyzing the headcount to build the right metrics, and then it's gonna create the new slides while updating the existing ones. Okay, it's saying excellent data. Well, gee, thanks, Claude. Now it has a clear picture. It's going to build the 3 new slides, update the executive summary, starting with the headcount slide after the current slide of number 4, the income statement. So here we go, slide number 8. The team tripled from 3 to 9, sales heavy build. Man, this is so cool that it's not only taking my data, but it's also analyzing it with the relevant commentary. Okay, and wow, what a beautiful stacked bar chart over here, along with the commentary on how many people we had between employees and contractors. That's pretty neat that it understood what was an employee versus a contractor. And now it's doing another slide where I could do revenue per employee. All right, and I guess this information is all flat. I don't know, I find this a little bit hard to believe. I think I'm gonna need to do some independent verification on this. Let's see what this next slide is doing here. The OpEx per head slide. All right, now this is a similar view to what we had for the very first slide over here. I like this over here. This looks pretty nice. Now it's reordering some of the slides, which I also like. And now it's updating the executive summary slide. So let's see this slide over here and how it's going to update it. All right, so now we have an updated title over here with some updated commentary. That's pretty neat. And then the forward projection slide, I believe that's this one over here. Where is the forward projection slide? Oh, slide 10. All right, the assumptions are going to be updated right now. Okay, so now we had information about the salary. Now we're doing a final verification. Minor overlaps to slide 5 and 6. It's going to fix that. All 10 slides pass. All right, so we got a net loss card with the text wrapping that it's going to fix. The value string is too wide, so it updated that over here. So it's cool that it's fixing not only the numbers and analysis, but also the design. And that's cool. It flagged over here the COO that we're planning to hire this year. All right. And now again, the presentation is complete. I have a summary of what exactly was done. It looks like 3 new slides were added. These are the slides that were updated. And then here's a key summary. Revenue per employee stayed flat at 127K per employee, with a few other insights over here. So I just want to verify this. Did it really stay flat at 127K? If I look at my file over here, I have $1 million in gross salary for 2026, and that's across 9 people. So it got the 9 people here correct. It looks like 2 in G&A, 4 in sales and marketing, 2 in engineering, 1 in product. So that all looks correct. I'm gonna just test one of the years. So 1,136,000. So I'm just gonna sum all of my revenue here for 2026. divided by 1,011,126. And this is 1.13. So let me ask, I find it doubtful that my revenue per employee stayed flat when we had so much activity in revenue and new employees. Back up your calculations by explaining what revenue and employee count was each year and how that ties into your numbers. All right, let's see what it comes back with. All right, so now it's double checking its own work, and you're absolutely right to push back on this. Here's what happened, why the numbers need to be corrected. I used year-end headcount as its denominator, which is misleading because your hiring was heavily backloaded each year. By coincidence, both revenue and year-end headcount grew at nearly the same rate. The correct approach is the average headcount. Okay, I don't know if I was necessarily thinking that, but that's all right. Let me just extend this. All right, so let's just test this. Is my revenue in 2026 1,144,745? Okay, that part is correct. Is my actual year-end headcount 9? That part's correct as well. And if I check revenue in 2024 and 2025, does that match? So 2025 of 763, that matches. And 2024 of 383,922, that matches. How about year-end headcount of 3, 6, and 9? Yeah, all that matches. So I guess the last step is to just calculate this on my own. So let's just see if I could copy this here. All right, let me just paste this, and let's just see. This divided by this. Looks like it was right. Claude, I'm sorry I doubted you. Oh, now I see what I was doing wrong. I was calculating total revenue divided by total salary, but that wasn't what I asked Claude. Classic. It wasn't the AI who was wrong, it was the human. And while Claude is doing this, I'm gonna show you how I generate dashboards into my Excel file that are investor ready. Over here, I have a drivers tab, and it's really simple. I could just click on any of these dashboards here and click on add to worksheet, and the information automatically gets added, and it's tied to my full 3-statement model from this drivers tab over here. And if I wanna present this information, I'm just gonna hit this PDF button, and then I'll click on create, and watch what it's going to do over here. It's going to analyze my Excel file, and instead of bringing it into PowerPoint, it's just going to print to PDF all the dashboards directly. Any tabs that aren't dashboards won't get printed. Let's see how it works. All right, so now here's my PDF. I can see the cover tab, I can see this executive financial report, this KPI dashboard, a budget versus actuals, and all these other dashboards. And what I love about this is it's tied directly to my data. So with just one click, I could instantly get this updated PDF without any manual prompting or pasting into PowerPoint. And if you want to get access to this, you can try it entirely for free at modelwiz.com. All right, let's wrap up now with our final prompt. All right, let's see how it does. I'm going to copy this information over here. Now for the file that I'm actually going to give, that's going to be this file over here, which I used with our tool ModelWiz that allowed me to generate all of these dashboards with a simple click of a button tied directly to my data. So let's see what happens. All right, so it's extracting all the dashboards to understand what we're working with. All right, and it determined that it's a massive data set. Oh, and it looks like the prompt here is too long. Okay, I don't really blame Claude here because this is a lot of information that I have in this file. So why don't I just take some of my favorite dashboards? Why don't I take this one over here, and I'll just use the screenshot icon, and I'll paste that. And let's just do a few other ones. I love this budget versus actuals comparison. And then let's also do this comparison profit and loss. Now for our final one, I really like this margins dashboard. So let's do that as well. Okay, let's just focus on these 4 dashboards and let's see if it will work with it. Now, I think the screenshots went through. I don't know why it doesn't show over here. And it's asked me what I want to do. So why don't we add it as an appendix? And let's also match the dashboard style. So it's cool that it asked me a question and it's going to match the style over here. So first it's going to extract all the data from the screenshots and then build each one. Oh, and it looks like it's still too long. All right, Claude, just do this one. And to be fair, it's going to be this margins. All right, and it's pulling the data from my model to get the exact numbers for the charts. So in a sec, we're probably gonna see slide 11 appear. Right, so it detected that there are differences and it was correct. I'm using 2 different data sets. I wanted to see if it picked that up. And it looks like it's just going to use the screenshots information instead. So here we go. Now we have slide 11. Oh, it looks like it's actually in slide 7. And it's gonna build a dashboard layout with all 4 quadrants using OOXML, no idea what that means. Okay, and these margins are starting to populate over here, and I wonder what compacting conversation means. Let's see what happens whenever the 100% gets there. The conversation was compacted, okay, and now it determines that it needs 4 sparkline/trend charts. And it looks like the chart import failed, but it's gonna try a different approach. Come on, you got this, Claude. Okay, we got the first one here. All right, now we got the operating margin one. Here comes gross margin. All right, gross margin's populated. We got one last one for net margin. I'm sure it's gonna knock it out of the ballpark. All right, and net margin came in. So now it's doing a quick verification. All right, and it's critiquing itself over the vertical spacing. And it looks like we're done. And again, I have my full summary over here. Now, let's just confirm, does this information actually match to my Excel file? It looks like it does. This is pretty wild. So now let's look at the entire presentation. What does this look like? Well, we got our cover page over here. Then we got our executive summary with some commentary and KPI cards. We got information about our revenue, expenses, and an income statement summary. Information about our headcount, our revenue, again, per employee this time, profit margins, OpEx, balance sheet, cash flows, and a key slide on our 2026 projections. Man, I am totally blown away. This would have taken me hours and hours to set up, let alone the fact that some of these charts or design capabilities I probably just don't even have at my disposal. So I'm wondering, what's this going to do to my job as a fractional CFO, and what's this going to do for analysts, designers, and everyone else? Honestly, I don't know, but you let me know in the comments because I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you want to know how to create an entire financial model with Claude and Excel, I suggest you check out this video right over here. I'm Josh, your CFO guy, and I'll catch you later.